Hello, everyone, and welcome to your environmental management subject. And I will be your professor, Mr. Kip Anthony A. Ramos. And for this session, we'll be talking about the introduction to environmental management. So, as we start this discussion about the introduction to the environmental management, I want everybody to to have this question to ponder. Okay, so I will be asking everyone if what is your belief, or do you believe that environment and development are contradictory? Because there are situations wherein lagi natin binabanggit na ang environment and development, they are contradictory. So if your answer is yes, kindly put your statement there below, no? Kindly comment it. And if, say, for example, your answer is no, you also justify kung bakit, no? So again, the question to ponder, do you believe that environment and development are contradictory? And ano, sige po. So we'll be asking for your belief about this statement. Okay, so as you ponder with this question, we'll go ahead and have our discussion by defining first what is development management and what is the importance of it. Bakit ba natin siya pinag-uusapan? Okay, so according to Thomas in 1996 and Kirkpatrick et al. No 2002, when you say development management, that is the manipulation of interventions aimed at promoting development. So simply put, syempre we would want to maximize yung ating pong capacity in order for us to have that development. Pero paano raw po ito magaganap? And that is by manipulating and controlling your interventions po. Okay? And another definition actually will tell us that development management focuses on inter-organizational relationships in which it seeks partnerships and cooperation and are skilled in dealing with political agendas and in coordination. So simply put, if we are doing development management, we will be needing the help of many people, hindi lang pwedeng iisa. We will be asking for different organizations to help, different institutions, so that we will be able also to advance our political agendas and even our coordination with one another. All right, so whenever we're dealing with a development, it is quite common na inire-relate natin ito into environmental degradation. But if we will be asking yung mga experts, they will tell us that there are three reactions to environmental degradation, according to them. So number one, may mga tao na say for example, they are facing environmental degradation. Ang kanila pong gagawin ay they will be ignoring the threat. Okay? Ipapasawalang bahala nila, hindi sila gagalaw, wala po silang gagawin simply because ang iniisip nila lilipas din yan or wala naman ding magagawa, no? So that's the first common reaction. They will be ignoring the threat. Second, there are people na nag-advocate naman to abandon yung ating technology and return to simple ways. Dahil nga nangyayari yung mga hindi nga nais-nais or kalunos-lunos na pangyayari sa ating pong environment, may mga tao that they will go extreme din to the extremes, no? Na ang kanila kung gusto ay i-abandon yung i-abandon yung technology. And simply put, sasabihin nila sa atin na wag na natin gamitin yung ating mga ginagamit na technological things such as your gadgets and even other machines. Okay? That's the second reaction. But the third reaction, and I want you to focus on this reaction, and that is by using all the tools available, including technology, education, and establishment of new ethics in order for us to achieve sustainable development. Kasi nga po, if you will be having this third reaction, ang sasabihin po is actually, ayan we will be using, syempre yung technology, we will be using all the tools available in order for us na may aid natin yung tatawag na sustainable development. And as we move forward later, malalaman natin kung ano nga ba yung yung tatawag na sustainable development. Now, if we are looking into to the environmental concern po in post 1960s, mahahati po yan sa tatlong sa tatlong period. Sige po. So, unang period diyan is nung panahon po ng mid 1960s to mid 1970s, no? So, ano po naganap dito sa mid 1960s to mid 1970s? So, simply put, yung yung pag-evolve ng environmental concern during this time is nung time na ito, iniisip ng mga tao na ang na ang ating environmental concern ay nakafocus doon sa pollution. Okay? So pollution in which ito daw po yung nakaka-degrade doon sa ano no, sa quality of life na meron po tayo, be it in air, be it in water, and even in land. Okay, so there are also some countries no na ang kanilang iniisip during the mid 1960s to mid 1970s is that there is a possibility of population explosion. Okay, at saka may mga tao rin dati nang iniisip nila na yung mga tao daw ay merong careless use of technology na hindi daw makokontrol later on. Pero unfortunately, if we are looking doon sa ating ano no, if we are looking doon sa ating timeline na mid 1960s to mid 1970s, hindi pa po na ano no, po politicize, meaning hindi pa ito pinag-uusapan sa iba't ibang mga institusyon kagaya halimbawa ng parliamentary or even yung ano no, yung mga chambers na meron pong kinalaman sa paggawa po ng ano na ng policy. Kaya nga, kung mapapansin ninyo nung mid 1960s to mid 1970s, ang iniisip ng mga tao at that time is that if you are talking about environmental concern, you are talking about luxury. Bakit? Kasi parang pag ang ating ano no, ang ating pananaw nung mid 1960s to mid 1970s is to focus on your environment. Sinasabi ng mga tao, lalong-lalo yung mga policy maker or your legislators, sasabihin nila na meron pang mas kapakipakinabang na mga bagay in which na makakapagpaganda pa raw ng buhay aside from environment. So simply put, no mid 1960s to mid 1970s hindi pa siya ano no, hindi pa po siya ganon kalaganap na pinag-uusapan. Simply because, yun nga, no, it is considered to be a luxury pag pinag-usapan. Kasi nga, may mas mahalaga pa raw na mga bagay. Okay? Now, after the mid-1960s to mid-1970s, during the mid-1970s to 1992, dito na na-realize sa mga tao, kasi before, no mid-1960s to mid-1970s, there are suspicions na kailangan talaga nating bigyan ng pansin yung environment. Pero noong mid-1970s to 1992, doon lang na-realize sa mga legislators and even the policymakers all over the world na kailangan natin ng tugon sa environmental concern, in which many countries no establish yung tinatawag na environmental ministries sa ating sa ating konteksto bilang mga Pilipino. Ito yung departamento no na nakafocus sa pagtugon doon sa environmental concern. So during that time, syempre no ang nangyari nung mid 1970s nagkaroon ng ng interest yung mga tao dito sa environmental management. However, naganap actually yung naganap actually yung tawag dito, naganap yung talagang pakingialam ng mga developing countries din sa environmental concern nung late 1980s. Kung kaya't, ayan, syempre, marami naging environmental assessment na ginawa noon yung iba't ibang mga bansa. Kaya nga po, ayan, no, umusbong syempre yung iba't ibang conferences. Kaya nga nagsagawa rin yung United Nations during that time ng Conference on Environment and Development. Okay, so pinag-uusapan na siya compared nung mid-1960s to mid-1970s. Now, nung simula 1992 up until now, no, na 2024, alam naman natin that there has been already a trend sa usapin ng ng environmental concern. Recently nga lang, 'di ba, if you will notice, pinag-uusapan yung sobrang init dito sa Pilipinas, ano? Kaya nga sinasabi na kailangan raw nating bumawi kay Mother Nature by planting trees para daw lumamig lalo sa may Metro Manila. So with that, mapapansin natin no na ang mga tao, not even when I say person, no, syempre hindi lang ito yung natural person na mga individual, even yung yung juridical person, which are your companies, which are your which are your organizations na meron ding karapatan, ina-apply nila yung environmental concern, most especially in the issue of corporate social responsibility. Bakit? Kasi nga pare-pareho daw na naaapektuhan yung mga tao, pare-pareho na apektuhan yung mga business pagdating daw po sa environmental concern. So simply put, if we're talking about the timeline ng 1992 to the present, syempre it's a trend na pinag-uusapan na natin yung environmental concerns. Now, since we are already talking about environmental concerns, ang nakatask everyone no na naresolbahin ito at pangunahan tayo sa pagresolba nito ay tinatawag natin na environmental managers. But who are these environmental managers? So environmental managers generally seek to understand yung structure and function of the environment, and even kung paano tayo nakikirelate sa ating physical surroundings and even to one another. Kasi nga syempre mapapansin ninyo that as time goes by at ngayon na tayo ay namumuhay, syempre we will be having this relationship with our physical surroundings. So environmental managers are tasked, of course, not to study this. Okay? Also, according to ano no, syempre according to expert no si Erickson and King no 1999, they've said that environmental managers take deliberate efforts to steer the development process no in order for us to take advantage of opportunities from these environmental concerns no. And of course, dahil nga pinag-usapan natin ang environmental concerns, we will be really needing to avoid yung threats and of course mitigate yung problems para hindi po mahirapan yung ating po mga mamamayan. Okay? Sige po. So, with that being said, ano ngayon yung concept of environmental management? So, according to Thompson in 2002, environmental management was the system that anticipates and avoids or solves environmental and resource conservation problems. So, before, syempre, ang pinag-usapan natin in terms of environmental management is that iiwasan natin itong iiwasan natin itong mga problema po pagdating sa kalikasan. Okay? Ang ating pinag-uusapan dito ay paano natin i-conserve yung ating pong resources na meron tayo. Okay? Kung limited yung halimbawa yung kuryente, kagaya ng nagaganap ngayon kasi merong yellow alert pagdating sa electric grid Syempre, pinag-usapan daw according to Thomson noong 2002 kung paano mo ma-reserve or mako-conserve yung inyo pong yung inyo pong energy or electricity no. So that was the definition of Thomson in 2002. But according to El Coley in 2001, it is a process concerned with human environment interactions which seeks to identify what is environmental desirable, what are the physical, economic, social, and technological constraints to achieving it, and what are the most feasible options so that we will still be able, syempre, no, to pursue yung ating pong ninanais. Okay? So with that, syempre no, hindi magiging madali ang usapin when it comes to our environmental manager. So there are different similar challenges among your environmental managers. So ano-ano po itong mga ito? Let's discuss this one by one. Okay? So number one would actually be yung tinatawag po natin na dependency. Dependency in which we are relying on foreign inputs and commonly a need to adapt to technology and techniques to developing country situation. So simply put, no umaasa tayo rito no sa mga ninanais at ginugusto ng ating mga foreign counterparts. So ano po yung example po niyan? Binanggit na po kanina no yung pag-adapt daw po sa technology at saka techniques na siyang ginagawa na ng ibang bansa at karaniwan ito yung mga bansa na mauunlad na. That is dependency. Second, globalization. Of course, no, I believe you were able already to study this during your during your contemporary world subject that globalization, syempre, we would really want to have a good interaction. We want to have a good relationship with other countries. So, pero kaakibat nun, syempre, kung binubuksan mo ang iyong bansa sa pangingialam ng ibang ng iba pang mga bansa, it is syempre undeniably meron po tayo na tawag na powerful pressure from overseas na gawin mo to, gawin mo yan. Okay, so that is one of the negative sides daw ng globalization. That is a challenge among environmental managers. That burden and general poverty, lalong-lalo sa developing countries, pinag-uusapan po yan for environmental managers dahil nga burden na sila sa utang at merong nararanasan nila yung general poverty na pinag-uusapan natin. Of course, mas pipiliin mo pa ba na bumili ng environmentally good na bagay kesa sa mura pero non-environmentally good? Of course, mas pipiliin ng mga tao yung mas mura. Okay? Fourth, falling national incomes because of declining commodity prices will also be part of it. And of course, the breakdown of traditional resource management strategies and disempowerment of people. So, in particular, the loss of access to common resources. Kasi nga yung iba, napa-privatize na, no? Yung iba, kailangan mo pa magbayad so that you will be able to avail kung ano man yung kailangan mo. Okay? So other challenges that are actually face or the environmental managers are facing ay yung inadequate governance. Na kung saan karaniwan daw po ito nagli-lead into corruption yung unrest and law enforcement problems and powerful special interest groups na siyang humihindi or umuoo sa mga bagay-bagay. Yan, no? So karaniwan nagiging problem po. Often high population density and rapid demographic growth. Syempre habang lumalaki yung population po natin, mas dumarami ang pangangailangan natin. At pag dumarami ang pangangailangan natin, most likely nagde-deplete yung ating natural resources or it can actually lead, syempre, dun sa tatawag natin ng pollution. Rapid social change na ngayon, siguro trend ang sumagot sa environmental concerns pero hindi rin natin masasabi later on kung ganun pa ba yung pananaw daw ng mga tao. And of course, yung limited powers with which to negotiate and influence developed countries and world bodies. Kaya nga, di ba, may mga bansa na kahit anong pakiusap mo, pero dahil mas malaki sila, hindi rin po sila makikinig, no, na sumunod dun sa pinagkasunduan. And yung last na natin na challenges would actually be, of course, yung a legacy of history. Na ano daw po ito? Ito po yung inappropriate borders, unsuitable infrastructure, legislative hangovers from colonial days, dependency, neo-colonial pressures, and so on. So simply put, di ba, syempre, if we're talking about legacy, kahit meron na talaga mga infrastructure na, wag na natin itong tanggalin kasi nandyan na yan eh. Ito yung legacy halimbawa ni President ganon or legacy halimbawa ni Senator ganito, ganyan, ano. So, instead of syempre looking into environmental yield nitong mga bagay na pag tinanggal halimbawa, mas pipiliin daw nila na panatilihin kasi ito na yung status quo. Nandito na daw po ito eh. So bakit nyo pa tatanggalin? That is a legacy of history. And of course, yung centralized bureaucracy, which may have little clear oversight or much interest in more remote areas and poor people. Na siyang, kung kakailanganin natin ng ng pagtugon, pagdating po sa mga environmental concerns, nahihirapan daw po. It's simply because ayun nga, centralized po, hindi po nakikita na ay itong ng environmental concerns of course, must be answered so that we will be able to to avoid or mitigate yung problems na kinakaharap po natin. And that's it for our discussion about the introduction to environmental management. And I would like to grab this opportunity to thank everyone for attending our session. And I hope to see you all on the succeeding ones.